New year, 2015, and of course we're finishing up the non-conference part of our schedule against the Utah Valley State team that I think coached by Coach Hanaseki, and if I didn't get his name right, what's his name?
I think it's Hansecker.
Hansecker, yeah, Hansecker. We played them, I think, maybe 3 years ago. Played them here, one of our earlier games, and it's a team that's going to, first of all, they're interested in tempo, keeping the game in the 50s and the 60s, and they're going to pack their defense. So they're going to dare you to take outside shots. And one thing we can't do, we can't just rely on shooting jump shots. We got to take advantage of our size and hopefully get the game into up and down tempo type of game. And what I'm looking for our guys is to continue to get into a better rhythm of how we're going to play through our conference play. So it's a new year, new beginning, and we're looking forward to playing Utah Valley State. Having been off, I think we've been off for about a week. It's time to get back and really play somebody that can hopefully continue to give us an opportunity to get prepared for a conference play, which is right around the corner, less than a week.
With conference play coming up, and Utah Valley State's not a super big name team. Do you worry about your guys overlooking them or anything like that?
Well, hopefully we won't have that problem. And I think Northwestern State cured that for us when they came in. I thought they came in and the game went the full 40 minutes. Our fans got a chance to hopefully hang around and saw us pull it out. And I thought our guys did a job of doing that. Looking at the names on the front of the jersey, you can't. Everybody has good players, and I said it before. You watch college basketball all around the country. This is a time of year where teams come in and steal wins from you, especially if you're not focused on the task at hand. And so we'll be ready for it.
I guess you guys have won 51 straight home games against non-conference unranked teams. I guess that shows you're taking care of business. Do you feel good that your guys don't slip up and lose games, that on paper you shouldn't win?
Well, that's our job as coaches, to make sure they stay, in the moment. I think you got to stay moment by moment, game by game, practice by practice, and we do the things that we're capable of doing, then all the other things will take care of itself. The winning and losing will take care of itself, and so our guys have done a good job up until this point.
How'd the week of practice go? I guess it was your last one without a midweek game interrupting you.
Well, it's been a grind. It's been a grind, and they're ready to play somebody. Coming off of the Northwest game where we didn't do a good job of putting the game away. We had opportunities to, and in the second half we let them hit the offensive glass on us, and that was the recipe that teams did to us last year. In order to beat us, was to attack the glass and get to the free throw line. So we got to certainly shore that up, and that's what we've been doing all week, shoring up that, our transition defense, and just getting better as a team, getting more guys ready. Beard has practiced throughout the week, so he's pretty healthy, a lot more healthy than he was for that game.
So is he good to go to play?
Yeah, he'll play. He'll play. How much, I don't know, but he'll play.
You mentioned the fact these guys want to slow down the tempo. What's the key to getting them playing your tempo?
Well, I think our defense has got to be on point. The 35-second clock obviously has a lot to do with that. They want to come out and they want to run their sets. So we want to make sure they don't have an opportunity to do what they want to do. And so our defense has got to be on point. Limit them to one shot, and let's create some depth issues. I think that's where our advantage is, our depth. We have some depth, we have size, and hopefully our athletic ability.
Is there anything particular you're looking for from your team, or you want to see from them in your last non-conference game?
I want to see 40 minutes of good basketball, both defensively and offensively. That's what I want to see. I want to see a team that's going to, when things break down on defense, we're going to protect the rim, limit them to one shot, keep people off the glass, contest shots, get to the free throw lines ourselves, try to create some havoc with our defense, and execute on the offense. And we got an advantage size-wise. Bobby's playing at a pretty high level. Let's see if we can get the ball inside. Start the offense from inside out, and take what the defense gives you.
Mike's had a pretty good stretch here as well. What have you just thought about the way he's performed so far this season?
He's done some good things for us. I think he's showing a little bit more to his game than just the athletic ability, just shooting. He can rebound when he wants to, and I like to see him even get better defensively. I think he can get a whole lot better defensively because he's so long, he's so wiry. So I just want to see him continue to develop, as a player. I thought Kai the other night, started out for us, and I thought he did a pretty decent job right down at the end there. We had a couple of turnovers, some things that took place that we got to get better at. So we're getting more guys playing at a pretty high level, and that's what you want when conference time comes about. And those are some of your more experienced guys.
I understand. Practice, sometimes you have to kind of calm Mike down because he's so intense.
Well, that's part of the growth. He's one of those emotional charged guys, and so I always had the mindset you never let them see you sweat. And so my job as coach is to make sure I put them under as much duress as they can in practice to see how they respond, and so that way it don't take place in the game. But I think he's doing a better job of channeling it the right way. And for your guys' information, we named 2 captains for our team. Going to be Bobby Portis and Kai Madden, and that was done by the team voting. Those guys voted, and of course I have to have the stamp of approval. But those guys will serve as our captains for this year. Bobby Portis and Kai Madden.
How do you feel about those guys as your captains?
Well, that's what the guys wanted, and obviously I'm going to have the final say so. But I think it adds a little bit more responsibility to those guys. Those guys have played more than any of the guys that are here. Those guys, especially a guy like Kai, he knows the ins and out of conference play, and not only that, what I'm expecting from our team. What I'm expecting from the players, and maybe he can be that guy that can relate the message to it. I think the teams that have the good leadership and ownership, those are the teams that do well. I mean, they do well and continue to play in March and beyond March. So hopefully it's a sign of growth for those guys, and they take on that responsibility. It's a big responsibility.
Bobby's obviously a really skilled player, but he talked about last year being kind of quiet, being a little hesitant to speak up. What do you guys says about his growth as a leader, that he'd be a team captain?
Well, it's something I think he embraces. Leadership is not given. I think it's something he's got to earn, even as he's in that captainship role. So you can do it by your play, but I think you also got to do it what you do off the floor as well. And I think Bobby, he's a team guy. I mean, this guy is, as I said, from a basketball standpoint, probably playing as the highest levels, probably anybody in our league right now. But yet he's still a very unselfish player. I think he's still a very unselfish player. So that tells me he's the ultimate team kind of guy.
Seems like last year you waited until kind of midway through the season to name captains too. Is that something you like to do? And if so, what's your thought process behind it?
Well, if we could have done it earlier than that, but I just think it's being a lot more familiar with these guys now. I said that earlier at the beginning of the year. There's a lot of familiarity going on. I'm familiar with these guys. We brought these guys in here. We know the makeup of them, and so I think it's time. And as I said, my guys, this is something that our guys, as a team, voted on.
You're 10-2. You've obviously got 4 more non-conference games. But what do you think about the way your guys have navigated this schedule to this point?
Well, November we were undefeated. December started off a little rugged. We played some games on the road. Won, lost 2. Really, if I look at it, we really got beat in one of those games, and that was the one we didn't show up at Iowa State. I thought in the Clemson game it was more to what we did than what Clemson did. So as we get to this point right now, there were lessons learned, and I hope we learned some lessons, and we can take advantage of that as we get ready to go into finish up the non-conference part of our schedule, and then dive into the conference play, because it turns up 20 notches the intensity in conference play, and that's something that's got to be our guys have got to make sure they understand. And hopefully we'll use this game as one of those games as trying to get better and trying to get ready for conference play.